going to be taken to...
Uh-oh. Here they come. You better put in reverse, Doc. Oh, flash!
What science fiction in the childhood of the space age could have guessed the shape of reality? The Saturn V rocket. 3 stages, 28 stories tall, with 11 engines as powerful as all the waterfalls in North America combined. Years in the planning, months in the building and testing, the Saturn first stage lived but 2 minutes 41 seconds.
Stages. And ignition. 11 Houston, thrust is go. All engines, you're looking good. Hi, Roger. You're loud and clear.
2 minutes 41 seconds. Time to throw Apollo 40 miles up into the sky, and then an empty shell to fall back into the sea.
We got Skirt Roger, we confirm Skirt Tower's gone. Roger, Tower.
Neil Armstrong confirming both the engine skirt separation and the launch escape tower separation.
Yeah, Houston, Apollo 11 and Saturn gave us a magnificent ride. Roger, 11, we'll pass that on, and it certainly looks like you're well on your way now. 11 Houston, your guidance is converged. You're looking good.
Downrange 140 miles, altitude 62 miles, velocity 10.
Mission Control in Houston, Texas had taken over from launch control at Cape Kennedy for the duration of the 8-day mission. The complicated technology of Apollo Saturn evolved from an ingeniously simple concept: lunar orbit rendezvous. This requires a rocket made in many pieces that discards the useless weight of each piece when its function is completed. The flight began with a vertical lift through the heavy lower atmosphere and a tilt to the east. At 6,000 miles per hour, the empty first stage is discarded to save weight. So is an adapter ring and the unused escape tower. With the second stage firing, it reaches 15,000 miles per hour when it too is jettisoned. The third stage places Apollo in Earth orbit at 17,400 miles per hour. When the spacecraft has been thoroughly checked out by the crew, the third stage fires again, its speed now tearing it free from the grip of Earth's gravity. While coasting outward, the command service module separates and docks for access to the lunar module, and the empty third stage is left behind. Apollo loses speed throughout 9/10 of its journey until the moon's gravity overcomes the pull of Earth. Apollo fires in reverse direction, slowing down enough to be captured in orbit about the moon. Armstrong and Aldrin enter the lunar module Eagle, which separates, leaving Collins and the command service module in lunar orbit. Eagle slows still more and brakes to a touchdown on the lunar surface. After the moonwalk, the upper stage of the Eagle lifts off, leaving behind the now useless landing stage, and swings into orbit to dock with Columbia once again. When the crew and moon samples are transferred to the command service module, the lunar module is discarded. The command service module fires itself out of lunar orbit and falls back to Earth. As it approaches the re-entry speed of nearly 25,000 miles per hour, the service module drops away. The command module plunges into the atmosphere, protected by its heat shield. Slowed still more by the heavy lower atmosphere, it parachutes into the sea. The command module, Columbia, is all that remains of the original 3,000 tons of rocket, fuel, and cargo.
Apollo 11, this is Houston, over.
While in Earth orbit, the Apollo crew had less than 2 hours to check out all their spacecraft systems. The last chance to discover and correct any malfunction before the third stage engine is restarted to break them free of Earth. The translunar injection.
We're 10 minutes away from ignition on translunar injection.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are go for TLI, over.
Apollo 11, thank you.
Roger that. Apollo 11, this is Houston. Slightly less than 1 minute to ignition, and everything is go.
Roger. Ignition.
We confirm ignition, and the thrust is go.
Apollo 11, Roger. Guidance looking good. Velocity 26,000 feet per second. Telemetry and radar tracking both solid. Velocity 27,800 feet per second.
Through the window of the command module, the Earth gently slipped away.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Thrust is good. Everything's still looking good.
Roger. 29,000 feet per second, building up toward 30,000 feet per second.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Around 3.5 minutes. You're still looking good. Your predicted cutoff is right on the nominal.
Deep space tracking antennas, a third of a world apart, listened to Apollo and spoke to Apollo. As the Earth turned, at least one of them would have contact with Apollo at all times, except when it passed behind the moon.
34,000 feet per second now, altitude 152. $35,000 feet per second. Cut off. We're showing velocity 35,570 feet per second, altitude 177 nautical miles. At 3 hours 11 minutes into the mission, distance from Earth 3,140 nautical miles. DS-4B is reported in a stable attitude for this separation.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Your go for separation.
Okay, Barrow B coming armed. My intent is to use bottle primary 1 as per the checklist, therefore I just turned day on.
Roger, we concur with the logic.
We're awaiting confirmation of separation.
Roger.
We confirm the separation here on the ground.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Radio check, over.
The Goldstone station reports a very weak signal. We believe that Mike Collins is now maneuvering the spacecraft in the transposition and docking maneuver, and the antenna patterns aren't too good at the moment. So we have a weak signal strength.
The command service module separated and turned around to dock with Eagle, the lunar module.